Okay, is this good?
Okay.
Okay, it's always the logistics. As Peggy said, my name is Nancy Davis, and I've been a member of Global Travelers for less than a year, but I was a member of the Minnetonka Rotary Club for 7 years. I'm here today to share with you an exciting small international grant sponsored by the Global Travelers Rotary Club. The title of our project is Hope for Liver Cancer Patients in Egypt. And I'd like to use the next 20 minutes to tell you about the project, how we got started, what the project will accomplish, and then offer your club the opportunity to collaborate with us to make a difference in the world. First of all, I've been asked to address what is the Rotary E-Club of Global Travelers. So I've put together 6 slides to answer that question. I may need some help.
You know that.
Where am I clicking? Oh, right down there. Great.
But I think you just click. No, I guess you got it.
I got to
Okay.
click on
Yep.
the arrow. Thank you. Thank you. So a bit of club history. There is and was a core group of Rotarians from various clubs in District 5950, and they had traveled extensively for years. They had gone to India, Nepal, Bhutan, the Philippines, Brazil, Tanzania, Honduras, Argentina, Australia, kind of like G-Land. Okay. They discussed their love of travel and a desire to have a specific focus within Rotary. So after noodling this for a while, they were approached by the ever-present past District Governor Tom Gump to form a separate club. The core group of travelers gathered 25 Rotarians, and they chartered the new club in April of 2021. You may have remembered there was an article in the March 2022 issue of Rotarian, and it featured Tom Gump and growing new clubs. And there are several paragraphs in that article highlighting the global travelers. We have 2 levels of membership. We have full membership and we have associate membership. Right now we have 39 full members and 45 associates. Our dues are very low, 175 for full members and 50 for associates. Annual, thank you, annual, yes. Members always pay all their own travel expenses. We meet only on Zoom twice a month. Since its inception, the club has been the lead club on 2 district grants in Kenya. We've been a collaborator on projects in Nicaragua, Bolivia, and Kenya. We are the very first E-Club to be awarded a global grant. That is our water purification project in Colombia. This project started with, I think, $1,500 from Global Travelers, and at the end, the total budget was nearly $100,000, thanks to the collaboration of clubs within 5950 and clubs outside 5950. This is going to be our 2nd international project as a sponsoring club, and we've elected the small international designation within 5950. This is not a global grant, it's a smaller scale, which means it's under 30,000. We have various in-person social gatherings in Minnesota, Florida, and Canada, California. We have Zoom meetings that are open early for those who are interested. So you grab your drink, you sign in, and our president will put you in a breakout room. So you spend the first half hour of the meeting chatting with maybe 4 or 5 people, getting to know them. Because as Gilan can testify, we may have up to 50 people on the call, and there's no way you can chat with them. So we divided it up. Right now, we are revising our webpage so that associates as well as full members can have full access to all the information. We're going to add a dues payment option to the web page, so you could just click. We are strengthening our club committee structure at present, and we are considering moving our foundation from District 5950 to the club. I think your club has its own separate foundation. You're housed at 5950 also? Okay. Right, and so we're going to hopefully pull that away. And have our own foundation structure and take care of the finances ourselves. So that's a little bit about the club. Again, I have been a member of Minnetonka since 2014, but I felt this club met my needs. And now I'm going to share with you some slides about the actual projects, but I need help. I need help. Yes, we just say it.
Who is the president of your club?
Mr. Mike DeLuca. Our first president was Paula Schwartz. And that slide.
Oh, I have to end the slideshow. Let's do this. Yeah, there. That's weird.
Okay, and where will I click to go forward
Oh,
then?
that's a good thing. I think just. Isn't it?
I use the mouse.
That's in full screen. Yeah, just click down the side.
Click on the slide.
Yeah, on the side.
Okay. So I've told you a little bit about the E-Club. And now I would like to explain to you how we got into Egypt. Because despite the fact that our members travel all over, there's always a story. And this one is a good one. One of our associate members, Abdelwahab Ilad, known as Al, is a full member of one of the Rotary clubs in Cairo. Cairo is a very large metropolitan area. They have multiple clubs there, but he's a member there in Cairo Elite. He divides his time between Egypt and the United States, having recently been a member of the Baltimore Rotary. Cairo Elite has 27 members. They are an active club and have participated in multiple local projects, including water wells, a Nile cleaning boat, charity cloth bazaars, and restoring 4 homes in the Aswan Dam area after the fall floods. They also contribute to many global grants and will be writing their very first global grant later this year. Cairo Elite became aware of the large number of Egyptian people living with liver cancer and the work of the liver hospital in their geographic area. They did some investigation and met with the medical staff to learn more. Eventually, they decided that Rotary had the ability to make a difference for these patients. So Al used his connections in Cairo Elite to hook up to his new club here in the United States, and we have an active partnership. They are about 12 hours difference from us, and we email back and forth all the time. We're very happy to have them as a partner. I'd like to use the next several minutes and share with you 11 slides, only 11, that will explain the project to you. Our title is Treating Liver Cancer Patients in Egypt, and there you can see Al's name, Abdelwahab Ilabdi. All right, I'm going to follow these directions here. This is a small international project, and in our district, what this means is the total budget is under $30,000. It didn't work.
Look over here. There. No, it's not open. Okay. You keep talking, I'll figure it out.
A small international project has a budget of under $30,000, and it does not entail using any funds from the Rotary Foundation in Evanston.
It's not coming up there. I don't know.
Okay.
why.
I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah, you
while
keep
figure that out,
talking.
okay?
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna kill both of them. And bring it up. Yep, I know.
Don't lose this woman.
She's not doing real great today. Slideshow.
Slideshow start.
Let's go there.
There you go.
There you go. You did this, so we're here.
Hope springs eternal. So in addition to our partnership with the Cairo Elite Club, we also have two NGOs that are working with us. One is the Association for Liver Patients Care. They are, as I said, situated in Cairo. They treat 60 to 7 patients every month with this procedure, which I will explain to you, but be happy with the acronym for right now. And they have an over 95% success rate. The Egyptian Liver Research Institute and Hospital, also known as Egyptian Liver Hospital, is just northwest of Cairo, and they are also one of our partners. Thank you. So Global Travelers and Cairo Elite proposed this joint project to treat liver cancer patients in Egypt. Our goal is to treat 45 patients with a catheter-based therapy and provide further training to nurses that care for the patients before, during, and after the procedure. The project is $29,500. This slide is a little old right now. From our club alone, we have $3,500. We hope to obtain $10,000 from the district, and the remainder will be coming from collaborating clubs and districts. The club in Egypt has also put up $3,000 for the project. This is the most common question, and being a person with medical background, this really got my attention. The question is, why is there so much liver disease in Egypt? It is one of the highest rates of liver disease and liver cancer in the world. And you ask, well, why is that? It is widely accepted that the previous intravenous injections of treatment for schistosomiasis, which is a parasitic worm that's been around in Egypt for over 5,000 years. The treatment in the 1950s through the 1980s, and millions of injections of this treatment were given. There is still no vaccine for the disease, but that public health initiative resulted in a public health disaster because the program inadvertently spread hepatitis C, which was previously unknown to medicine. We always knew about hepatitis A and hepatitis B, but hepatitis C was not diagnosed as a separate disease until the 1990s. So we had thousands of patients with undiagnosed, untreated hepatitis, and after 20 to 30 years, they developed fibrosis and eventually liver cancer. In Egypt right now, there are approximately 30,000 new cases of liver cancer each year. So how do we treat this? Surgery is not an option for all these patients. There is a high cost. There's a long waiting list. Egypt does have national health insurance, but it is in its infancy, and it covers currently only about 10% of the population. If we don't do surgery, what is the next choice? Transarterial chemoembolization. We're just going to call it TACE. This procedure is non-invasive. It requires just a short hospital stay. We have a greater than 95% success rate, but unfortunately, many folks cannot afford the cost of the procedure. So what is TACE? Transarterial, that means we're going through the artery. Chemotherapy, you know. Embolization, as I used to tell my patients, it's a hunk of junk to stop the flow. And the hunk of junk can be a little gelatin sponge or some other mechanical obstruction of flow. Because if you stop the flow to the tumor can't live, right? Makes sense? So this procedure has a catheter inserted in a leg artery, similar to a heart catheterization. And that catheter is threaded up to the liver, and the chemotherapy is given right there, close. It has no effect on liver function, so the rest of the liver is healthy and can still function. They have a very high success rate. It's over 95%, very short recovery. The 1-year survival is 95%, and the 5-year survival is 70%. This project would fund the procedure for 45 patients. Each procedure costs $600. Half of that cost is for the chemotherapy. The rest of the cost is for the contrast dye, the medical equipment, and some miscellaneous material in the radiology suite. The training program for the nurses was actually requested by the nurses themselves. They felt that they needed more specialized training to even further increase the success rate. So the nurses training will involve training 40 nurses, and each one of them has a 10-week program. We've put in there a little $500 contingency fund, so the total project is $29,500. The nurses training program is 30 hours long, and it will be conducted at the Technical Institute of Nursing, which is owned by one of the NGOs in the project. There will be 4 sessions with 10 nurses each, and the topic basically is pre- and post-operative management in TACE. The Global Travelers Club is putting forth $3,500 for this project. Our partner in Cairo is putting in $3,000. We hope to get the full match from our district. The max would be $10,000 for a project of this size. So the remaining $13,000 we hope to obtain from other clubs and other districts. Right now we have a commitment of 6 clubs in our district, totaling $4,000. So we have $9,000 to go. We started soliciting funds for this project in March. We would like to submit it to the district grant committee in June and start the project in July or August, as soon as we get the approval. Our group is planning a trip to Egypt, and it will include traveling to the liver hospital and meeting the medical staff and the nurses that care for these patients. The project, by definition for our district, must end by June 30th. So in summary, if I explained to you about the Global Travelers Rotary Club, I've given you a little bit of history about the high rate of hepatitis in Egypt, and I've shown you what our project will accomplish. And I'll offer you the opportunity to collaborate with us and make a difference in the world. A donation of $1,000, $2,000, or even $500 will be welcome. No dollars need to exchange hands now. We are simply asking for a commitment from our clubs, which will put this project into action. So while you ponder that, I'd be happy to answer any questions my presentation may have generated. Yes, ma'am. Not that I am aware of. I worked in oncology at one time, but my experience does not allow me to give you a true answer to that. I'm sorry. She asked if the treatment that I described, the TACE, the TACE, if it was used for other cancers. And I said, not to my knowledge, basically. Yes, sir.
Yeah, schistosomiasis is common anywhere there's rice paddies.
Correct. Are you a plant? The gentleman asked about the prevalence of schistosomiasis in rice paddy type water.
Right. So did the treatment for schistosomiasis occur in other countries? But we're going to see cancer pop up in Madagascar.
Very good question. He's asking, what is the situation now with the prevalence of worldwide schistosomiasis, and are we going to be seeing more liver cancer? The answer is probably not, because now there is effective oral treatment for schistosomiasis. There's no vaccine. It's a highly prevalent parasite in fresh water. And it requires, during its life cycle, it requires a very specific snail to complete the life cycle of the parasite. Once the parasite invades the human body, it lodges in various organs and causes damage. That's how these folks were sick in many other symptoms before this program started. The problem with schistosomiasis, since there's no vaccine, you have to keep treating and treating and treating and treating and treating. The cure is you can swim in the ocean or chlorinated pool, but you simply have to avoid contact with the contaminated water. Oh, the pill. Yes, I do. You want to tell me, or you want to wait till I get my hands on it? Yes, I do know the name of the pill. It's not ivermectin. That is, he said ivermectin. That was one of the proposed ones, but there is one that is used to treat it now, and it's like 100% success rate. Well, I look for that. Any other question? Yes, ma'am.
In addition to your outreach to Rotary clubs, have you connected with Egyptian American communities who might also want to partner on a project like this?
Her question was, in addition to reaching out to Rotary clubs for collaboration, have we reached out to Egyptian American communities? The answer is no, but we also reached out to all the Rotarians who are signed up to go visit Egypt with us in April of 2024. And many of those travelers come from outside Minnesota. So we have asked them to go to their home Rotary Club, especially our associate members, and talk about the project and see if they're out of state or out of District 5950 Rotary Club would like to partner with us.
And I'm not certain if there's a specific part of our country that has a high population of Egyptian Americans. I know that, for example, we have a very high population of Somali Americans here. And we just had a group from Lebanon from the visit purpose. Population of Lebanon, Lebanese
Community.
in Michigan. But I didn't know if there's a specific pocket of our country where there's a high number of Egyptians. I think some Rotary clubs there.
Well, thank you for the suggestion. She's explaining that there are different communities of Lebanese Americans, and there might be a group of Egyptian Americans that would be interested. I finally put my finger on it. Safe and effective drugs are available for the treatment of schistosomiasis. Praziquantel, Praziquantel, is the recommended treatment. But I do recall reading that ivermectin was also entertained as a possible treatment. The reason that we do not have schistosomiasis in the United States is because the snail required for the life cycle of the parasite does not exist in the United States. I'd like to just put in one more little plug here. And I need to be transparent. My medical background as a nurse practitioner was in cardiology. However, at the time, I was married to a hepatologist, and he traveled around the world giving talks about hepatitis, at that time called non-A, non-B hepatitis, which we now know as hepatitis C. So I have a special interest in this. And according to the CDC guidelines, hepatitis C, which is now a distinct entity, has no vaccine. There is a vaccine for hepatitis A and hepatitis B, but not for C. The CDC recommendations in the United States is that all adults ages 18 and up should have a screening for hepatitis C at least once in their lifetime. And if they have risk factors, they should be retested on a periodic basis. So you can all go home, look at your medical chart online, and just see, have you been evaluated for hepatitis C? Hepatitis C is curable, underline, curable. It is a 8 to 12-week course of oral therapy. People who do not have symptoms can have chronic hepatitis C for 20 to 30 years, like these folks in Egypt did. And they also can develop fibrosis and cirrhosis. So it's important for all of us to make sure that we have them screened for hepatitis C. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. Are they in Egypt now able to get the pills for Hep C so they can start to catch it? I know it's very expensive here to get treated for Hep C. Are they able to get that in?
What I have read thus far, it says the Egyptian government is working very hard on screening for hepatitis and offering treatment. There is a problem with access to the appropriate medical therapy.
And then my second thing is, I am a subject member of the Travelers, and I put in a request that we participate. It's next fiscal year dollars, not this. So I don't know what level that I personally I would.
She's giving us a plug here. For those of you on Zoom, Gillian is advocating for Golden Valley Rotary Club to support this project with an unspecified dollar amount. Yes, yes. Any other questions about this project? Well, I thank you for listening. I'm very excited about, we're going to Egypt no matter what. And I spent some time talking with Karen here at the table, and she's very interested in traveling with us because her brother lives in Cairo and is a demographer. So how cool is that? Thank you.
We do have a gift for